can tell me I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me I'm so nation. No matter the location, from OAK, LA to LV, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me I'm so nation. No matter the location. It's got the 83 feel, it's time to run it back. We struck gold with in gold in our running back. Josh Jacobs, he a specialist. He personifies commitment to excellence. He our next Bogo, he our next Allen. I'm watching receivers drown on Mullen Allen. Yeah, y'all know the drill was Littleton. In the middle, this shit just got real. Look, we Super Bowl bound. I'm just an honest man. Chuck you back to return us to the promised land. Rest in peace, Al. You the GOAT, bro. NFL had Jerry West, you the logo. And I'm I pledge allegiance to Oco, LA Coliseum and Allegiant. And I'm I pledge allegiance to Oco, LA Coliseum and Allegiant. From OAK, LA to LV, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me I'm so nation. No matter the location.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Jon Gruden is out as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to be breaking a lot of stuff down here between the emails, everything that Gruden said, and even more leading up to it. What I want you guys to do right now, because my entire team here at the show, we're working our freaking tails off. So if you guys could go ahead and like this video right now and show us a little bit of love, I would really appreciate that. Now, the way that the Raiders Report works is this: news, rumors, and then the live and raw interaction for already the 1,500 people watching the show right now. I want you to go down into the comments and let me know your one-word reaction to Jon Gruden stepping down as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Also, it is important to mention the fact that Gruden is stepping down as head coach means he forfeits his remaining contract. So the $60 million guaranteed, the 6 years left on his deal, that is all gone. So the Raiders will not have to pay for that. So give me your one-word reactions here, and if you send in super chats, we're going to do our best to put them on. I know they're going to start flying in quick. We got a what? Shocked? Crazy? I see Chavez says tough. Martin says finally. Alito Villita says finally. WTF from Steven Bowser. Somebody said, is this real? Yes. Jon Gruden is no longer the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Super chat coming in from Josh Smith. Hey, goodbye, baby. Now we can just win, baby. Well, we'll see, Josh. Let's go to AG. Does he still get his guaranteed money? No, he forfeits it. The Raiders don't have to pay him anymore, which I'm actually okay with that. Let's go to Carlos 47. Mitch, I am shocked and disappointed. Jon Gruden had to leave, though. He definitely lost the whole locker room after the rest of the emails came out. 100% agree with you, man. I literally was filming a video here in the studio, getting ready to push it out, and then the news happened, and they were like, you know what, man, let's get you guys something as quick as possible. Let's go to Michael Lopez, next one coming in here. We got, are you removing Chucky Head ratings? It's actually something that we have discussed here. Should I remove Chucky Heads? Y for yes or N for no? I do also want to give a shout-out to Jonathan for the $5 super chat. Gio, thank God, burn it all down. Mayock, next, please. We need to modernize the playbook. I 100% agree with you. One of the things that I talked about today on the Raiders Report is I actually thought Gruden did a okay job being a head coach, but it was time to find somebody that actually knew what they were doing in terms of play calling. And now you're going to have something totally different. Let's go to Shane Morris. Interim. We're going to be doing a four people basically that I think that could take over as a new head coach of the Raiders. That's going to be coming up here in about 20-25 minutes once my team and I get all the graphics in the background figured out. But I believe we got a pretty good list. We got 4 names to be able to keep in mind. Let's go to Benjamin Flores. Appreciate the $10 super chat, Ben. I know you're one of the most loyal watchers that I got here. This is definitely the reason, though, why you should subscribe to the Raiders Report. I'm going to give you guys the information. Doesn't matter what time, doesn't matter when. We have the hardest working team here in the bunch. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and like this video right now. Let's go to Kip. Appreciate the Superman. Yippee. Just saved us $50 million buyout on GoFundMe. I mean, technically it saved just $60 million. So, like, even more. And I get it. Gruden was one of these, I'll call him a whale, where everybody out there and every single coaching aspect was like, oh, could this team hire Gruden? Could this team hire Gruden? They gave him way too much money, and it's the reason why I don't like guaranteed contracts in anything you do. Nobody should be guaranteed money unless you perform. Jon Gruden wasted 7 first-round picks. They wasted a whole bunch of free agency moves. They made bad extensions, and now you're looking at somebody who all he's done since getting there is predicated on being good locker room guys, being good in your community, doing this, doing that, and now all this stuff comes out. It's a big-time black eye for Gruden and for the Raiders organization. They had to move on from him. Let's go to Manny V, who is going to be the interim head coach. We'll get to all of that in here just a little bit. If you guys want to start getting some of your votes in on who y'all think will be the next Raiders head coach, please go ahead and do so. Let's go to Ryan Hufford. Mitch, what are your thoughts on either Gus or either Cable, another head coaching shot? I'm probably not going to go ahead and give it to Tom Cable, though. Could be another name to at least consider for interim. But Gus Bradley, to me, would be the easier name to just throw into the mix because he has some coaching experience. Let's go to Darion Schofield. Again, guys, Super Chat is going to be the only way you're probably going to have a chance getting here on this show. Well, damn, who do you want next? I'm going to be doing Gruden replacements later on. However, guys, you're going to see some Gus Bradleys. You're going to see some other names out there to think of. Let's go to the man. Who do you think is going to replace Gruden? Oh, my Lord. I can tell you guys are excited about it. Let's go to Caleb Landry. I just want to know why. Why is the stuff about Gruden coming out? What happened to who for this to come out? I do actually think that, I don't know if somebody was going against John or if somebody was trying to go after the Raiders, because in the initial email thread, you should have been able to find all this stuff. Plus, when all the investigation was going down with Snyder and the football team, they should have been able to figure something out. There's no doubt about that. But obviously, I'm with you. I don't know what transpired or what happened to really be able to break it down here, but it was very, very surprising from top to bottom. There is no doubt about that. Let's go to the next one coming in here from Luke Atkinson. Gruden, you done effed up Chucky, soon to be Bradley heads. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and do Bradley heads, but I am seeing right now who the new interim head coach is going to be. So as soon as we get the graphic for that, I'll be able to give you guys that information. Let's go to Ricky Flores. Is this season a bust? I don't know if it's a bust yet. I mean, you're still 3-2. Some people might make the argument that not having Gruden could actually help you out a little bit, but it will be definitely interesting to see how the remainder of the season goes. Let's go to Carlos 47. Replace Chucky heads with Raider shields. It does sound like it's something that's probably going to have to end up happening. What's funny is somebody made me a Chucky head-like shirt to be able to go ahead and give out. Now we're going to have to totally switch it up, man. I don't know what exactly is going to happen because I'm kind of known for Chucky heads. But for Raider shields, I guess that sounds just as good. Let's go to DJ What. Appreciate the $2 super chat, man. I'm going to crack open a beer simply because this has been one hell of a night, so hopefully nobody judges me for that. Let's go to Trevor. What up, Trev? Give me the interim to Gus Bradley, start Mariota when he's back, or give a Taysom Hill role. So no, none of those things are going to happen. You still stick with Derek Carr, and actually Gus Bradley is not going to be the interim head coach. So we'll give you the name here in just a second. I do want you guys to stick around here just for a little bit. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Let's go to Danner310. Let's get Louis Riddick as a GM. Why not? New era. I mean, I would take Louis Riddick over Mike Mayock. I don't really think Mike Mayock has done anything whatsoever to be able to predicate or be able to say that, hey, I deserve this or I deserve that. I think Louis Riddick would probably be a little bit more of an upgrade. Let's go to the Guardian Angel here. Appreciate your super. So what you think? Honest opinion, Gus as head coach. I think Gus could probably end up getting it done. However, according to what we're seeing right now and according to a former NFL head coach, Mike Tice, he says that special teams coach Rich Bisaccia is going to take over for Jon Gruden. I think one of the biggest reasons why that they are doing this is because the Gus Bradley defense has done such a solid job, and I don't really know if they want to go and overcomplicate those types of things there, so they keep on rocking and rolling with the defense. Gus Bradley, sure, he struggled in the past as a head coach, but it sounds like Rich Bisaccia is going to be the new interim head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. Another super chat coming in from Brandon. What up, Braden? Appreciate you watching the show, man. I know we got a lot of people right now. We got almost 4,000 people. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Hit that big red button that says sub. And you know what, Jack? I think this would be a really good opportunity to go to subs only because I want to be able to reward the people who are subscribed to Chat Sports, who are subscribed to the Raiders Report, to be able to watch the shows. This is the perfect reason. We are a interactive show. We really predicate ourselves on really trying to get to know the nation. So if you're not subscribed, you will not be able to chat. You will not be able to super chat. So if you want to be able to go ahead and interact with the team right now, please go ahead and subscribe to the Raiders Report. Got a super chat coming in from one of my OGs right now, Sean Forbes. I'm shocked. I don't know, this is crazy, but I guess I saw this coming. Love you, Mitch. Love you, Sean. Thanks for keeping us up on all the Raiders news. You're the best. I can see Gus as the interim or Cable. It's going to be Rich Bisaccia, and I mean, Gus was actually probably going to be my first pick, but here's the tweet from Mike Tice, a former NFL head coach. Special teams coach Rich Bisaccia will take over for Jon Gruden. I mean, that's about as surprising as you're going to be able to see, so that's, man, well, this is one hell of a crazy night here. There's no doubt about it. We got Project 1337. This may be messed up, but the bright spot is seeing our new possible rejuvenated offense. Yeah, I actually agree with that. Now, obviously, I hate any time somebody loses a job, and I don't like cancel culture. I'll be 100% honest with you. However, it was the bigger fact that Gruden said that there was only one email, that he didn't know about all these others, and he literally lied to not only you, not only me, but literally everybody out there and said that it was only one email. That's not somebody I want to lead this football team. So Jon Gruden, he's out as Raiders head coach. Another super chat coming in from L Hub. Much love to you, man. Appreciate your support of our free YouTube channel here. Let's go to James Gomez. Raiders are running out of scapegoats. Time for the players to play and just win, baby. You're not wrong with that. However, if anybody thinks for a second that this stuff wasn't a little bit of a pain in the you-know-what, then I don't really know what is. But, I mean, I'm kind of with you. It's time for the players to go out and play now. What about T. Jeezy? Traded Mac for no reason. They traded Mac because Gruden didn't want to have to go ahead and play. And realistically, if you really think about it, the amount of first-round picks that the Raiders got for Mac, I actually don't think it was that bad of a deal. The issue is you swung and missed on all of those first-rounders. Sure, some of them were good players, but none of them were worth trading Khalil Mack for. Let's go to Jonathan. What will Carr do? Will he follow? I don't really see Carr following anything, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I mean, he's still obviously going to stick here with the team. He wants to be a Raider. It's just not good, man. Not a good thing. Let's go to DJ Watt. Switch Chucky heads to Flores. Jack, Raiders, Raider Nation for life. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with the Chucky head symbol now. It's going to be something that we'll once we figure it out, we'll be able to keep you guys up to date. Let's go to Phillip Brown. Lost the team the day he traded Hudson, and plus, he has no connection to his players. See ya. Well, that's actually not 100% true. I knew a lot of players from my own personal talking to that. I mean, guess what? He had a lot of really good connections with some players. You can say what you want about Gruden, but he was really able to get along with a lot of the guys on that team. And now you have this happen, and he did. He lost a lot of guys. I mean, how can he look in the face of somebody like Carl Nassib, who Gruden literally uses the F word. He uses all these homophobic slurs. How can Carl Nassib believe anything that Jon Gruden has to say? He can't. And if you're an actual teammate of Nassib, who Nassib is a very well-respected player, you can't take Jon Gruden seriously. So I'm not surprised whatsoever by this move. I kneel for one. When will the F Chucky shirts go on sale, Mitch? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Chucky head shirts on sale, and I feel bad for a lot of people out there that, you know, have got a lot of Chucky stuff going on. I mean, I've seen a lot of Chucky costumes. You got to get rid of it. You're going to have to get rid of it. Let's go to Manny V. What do you think our final record will be now? I mean, it's such a difficult question. I'm going to do the ultimate coach answer here and say you can't look forward, because I think what the Raiders have been doing is they've been looking forward almost too much right now. You got to worry about the Denver Broncos. You got to come away with a win there. You got to try to go to 4-2 up against the Eagles and try to really rally your troops. But I'm not going to look forward, though. This is definitely a black eye on the season. Let's go to Grant Salzer. Low-key want Jack Del Rio back. I don't really know if Jack Del Rio would want him back. Also, you and Michael Lopez are basically on the same page. I mean, if I'm Jack Del Rio, would I want to come back? I mean, you let me go for somebody else, and now you're in this situation here. Obviously, it's not a very good thing. Let's go to Plasma Cannon. Season's over. See ya, Gruden. His season's over, yes, but this Raiders season's far from over. Guys, we are 5 games into it. We're 3-2. I get it. The last 2 games have been a major, I don't know, it's just been bad, for being honest. And the Dolphins game wasn't pretty either. But now you're going to get a fresh start. And anytime that this team has had their backs up against the wall, I do think that they've responded well. So, season's over for Gruden. It's not over for the Raiders. Let's go to SJ. Can Las Vegas fix the O-line sooner now that they don't owe Gruden $60 million? I don't really think the money to Gruden had anything to do with the offensive line, though. Sure, now you have some extra money, hypothetically, but Gruden's salary has nothing to do with the cap space. Cap space was the bigger issue why the Raiders couldn't make certain moves, but fingers crossed that they do something to this offensive line, because right now it is on pace to be the worst run-blocking offensive line since PFF started documenting run grades. Let's go to the greatness of the Raiders. I know the emails were ancient history. Here's the issue, though. They weren't, though. 2018 was the most recent email. To me, that's pretty recent. And it's not only that. It's the emails in 2018. It's the emails in 2014 about him saying what he did about Michael Sam. The pictures of the cheerleaders in 2018 and then 2010. It's not just stuff that happened 10 years ago. We're talking about really recent stuff where he was the head coach of the Raiders when he was doing it. So all I'm going to say is it's a bad look, and the Raiders and Mark Davis, they did the right thing, because Al Davis would never stood for this. Al Davis never, and I mean never, would have stood for any of this. He was always about bringing Raider Nation together. Let's go to Rudy 5453. This is really bad timing for the team. Long season ahead. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a long season ahead. Let's go to door number 4. Are the Raiders able to pick up a coach from another team? Hypothetically, sure, but they're just going to hire from within. Rich Bisaccia is going to be the new interim head coach. And then next season, Eric Bieniemy would be the very first guy I would call, and also Brian Daboll. Those would be the first 2 names that I would call if I was trying to find a brand new Raiders head coach. Also Joe Brady. Let's go to Our Nation Sports 1. I'm officially retiring as a Raiders fan. Then leave. I mean, you can get out. I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you're going to leave this team because of what Jon Gruden said, then I'm going to say this right now, that you're not a real Raider fan. And I hate saying that because the amount of people that have said that to me. But no, you rep this shield, you rep this team. You don't do it for Jon Gruden. But if you want to go, then I'm not going to miss you at all. Go to Larry. What up, my man? You're next up here on the show here. I'd like to see Mayock have a chance without the shadow of Gruden over him. Sure, but Mayock also has not made good positions in the draft. He hasn't done the right thing. So I'm not really going to sit here and say that I'm really confident in him either. Let's go to Rashimo Locke. You're next up. Raiders won't be missed, honestly. I honestly don't know if Gruden will be missed all that much. I mean, can you guys honestly look at me and tell me that you were really confident in Jon Gruden, plus all the money that he had? He literally said at his press conference today that they're still trying to find their identity. You've had 4 years to try to figure out your identity. Figure it out or get out of here. Let's go to Bobby Webb. Tuck that, dump the season, no Carr extension, draft a quarterback, 3 years to build up again. Go Raiders. I will say the idea of having a brand new head coach, a lot of times with a new head coach, they want to go ahead and they want to bring in their own guy. So in terms of a Derek Carr extension, I do not think it's as likely now as before, even if the Raiders make the playoffs. Let's go to Michael. $5 Super Chat. Appreciate you watching the show, man. I'm really appreciate it. I know you're always watching. Let's go to Darkside Chevy. Bring back Jack. We've had a lot of people that say bring back Jack Del Rio. He'll definitely be in my show in terms of, like, who are some potential replacements that the Raiders can get for next season. Let's go to Gregory Vasquez. All I have to say is that I see a lot of changes the next coming weeks. I mean, both sides of the ball. I believe that you're going to see some additions on the defensive tackle. I think you're going to see some additions to the offensive line as well. I know Gruden literally said today that he's going to stick with the offensive line they have. I think now you got to mix it up a little bit. Let's go to David Yost. You're next up here on the Raiders Report. Now that Gruden is gone, should Derek stay or leave? I personally want him to stay. He's going to stay this year. The issue is, like I just mentioned, head coaches a lot of times want to be able to bring in their own people. With that being said, I could see the Raiders bringing in a brand new quarterback next year. Wouldn't surprise me if they drafted one in round 1 in a draft in Las Vegas. Alejandro Martinez, you deserve a beer. Every single person watching now, if you're over 21, deserves one. And at the end of the day, guys, I love what I do here. I love the nation. We got 4,500 people watching right now. If you're wondering why you can't comment, it's because only subscribers can comment. And if you haven't liked the video yet, please do. I mean, this is one of those nights I was just sitting at home. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I was getting ready to just kick my feet up and watch some Monday Night Football. But at the end of the day, I really want to be able to give you guys the information, the news that you deserve. Because after that game against the Bears, I said this. I said that this is the best damn fan base in the world and that y'all deserve better. Well, hopefully now that you guys are going to get better, and I will do everything in my personal power to make sure that you guys get everything that you're looking for here. So cheers to the nation. So what do you think here, guys? Do we keep the Chucky heads? Type K for keep, or I want you to type D for dump them. Obviously, I made Chucky heads because Gruden's nickname was Chucky. I really realistically think that I almost got to get rid of it now. I don't really want to have anything to do with Jon Gruden. I don't really want to have anything associated with him. However, when I walk down the street or Vegas, when I meet people, they're always like, hey, that's that Chucky head guy. So do I go to Raider Shields? What do I go to? Please type K for keep, or I want you to go ahead down in the comments right now and type D for dump. I mean, I'm seeing nothing but D's. Nothing but D's for dump, so maybe we got to figure out what we're going to go to next here. It's maybe going to be the thing that we talk about on tomorrow's Raiders Report. Remember, I will be going live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Who knows? I might even go live a little bit earlier here. If you guys want me to change the Chucky hats, and go ahead and like the vid. Oh, God. Let's go to Richard. There goes the season. We got to stop with this. Any of you who think we are going to go on and win, you're kidding yourself. This team is in the image of Gruden. I am also going to make this announcement now. We are getting so many super chats that it's starting to fill up the screen a little bit. You can keep coming them, but we're going to start going by priority. So, Jack, do your best to be able to go through with them. If we can get $10 and up super chats, I guarantee you a spot. Besides that, I just don't know if we're going to have the manpower to do it. They're coming in that quick. Let's go to Rashimo Locke. Coach O takes over play calling. I thought you meant Coach O from Oregon. I'm like, he's terrible. From LSU. I don't know if I want Greg Olson to take over. I don't really think that Greg Olson is that competent of a play caller either. It's one of the reasons why Gruden did it. It's going to be interesting, man. That's all I got to say. Let's go to JR Gameplay. Who's going to take over the play calling, dude? I really think it's going to be Greg Olson now. I mean, it almost has to be. Also, love what you're doing. You're the best. Appreciate you, Jay. Let's go to the next one coming in from Shane Morris. Olson still calling the offense. I actually think that Jon Gruden was doing more of the play calling, but we'll see what happens here. Let's go to Ryan Hufford or Ricky Flores. I don't know. I think most of us want Del Rio back. I can see that. If you guys want Del Rio back, I want you to go ahead and start typing DR for Del Rio. Let's go to Rico Suave. I was happy with Del Rio. We had a good lineup. We just needed a backup quarterback. Gruden messed it up, but Raider Nation for life all day. You're right. Raider Nation for life all day. Let's go to Jack, Raider Nation. I always see you on Twitter. Maybe do the shield instead of the Chucky heads. Do you guys like the shield idea? Y for yes or N for no. I also see some other big ones. I saw one coming from Tyler Turner that said Lincoln Riley. Here's the issue. I don't see Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma because I understand that a lot of people look at college football, right? And they think, oh, it's a lesser job than the NFL. Lincoln Riley's got the ultimate job security. Plus, on top of that, with them getting ready to go to the SEC, I would make the argument that he's going to make more money at Oklahoma than he will with the Las Vegas Raiders because the Raiders would be smart and they better not pay somebody, again, 10 years, $100 million guaranteed. Let's go to Manny V. What do you think our final record will be? Like I said before, I'm going to just concentrate on the week ahead because if you start playing it too far ahead, it's going to be bad news. So let's just go ahead and concentrate on the Broncos. Let's go to David Yost. Now that Gruden is gone, should Derek Carr stay or go? I personally think that he should stay. He's going to stay for this year, but I promise you this, his chances of getting extended are much less. With a brand new head coach, they're going to want to probably bring in one of their new guys. So it would not surprise me if this is Derek Carr's final year as a Raider. Let's go to Arnold. Kellen Moore or Eric Bieniemy as next head coach. I actually like the idea of Kellen Moore. However, it actually would not surprise me, and Tom, you can weigh in on this if you want. If I was the Cowboys, I would fire Mike McCarthy and promote Kellen Moore as my new head coach. Tom's kind of doing this in the background. That's what I would do, but I personally would take Eric Bieniemy first. Let's go to King Higgins. What up, my man? We got Gruden is a disgrace. I don't give an F. This is good for Raider Nation and embarrassment to everyone who reps the shield in Raider Nation. F Chucky. If that's the opinion you want to have, please go ahead and do so. I mean, when you send the emails that he did, as far as I'm concerned, you can go ahead and do that. So, yeah. Let's go to Raider Nest and Dad, number 2. What happens with Gruden's playbook and the offense? I mean, if Gruden's playbook's gone, I mean, they always talked about how complicated it would be. I think you obviously can't throw away your entire playbook because it's what your offense knows. And realistically, I think the offensive playbook works pretty well. You just got to be able to figure out a way to block. But there's going to be a lot of changes. There's There's no doubt about that. Let's go to this next one coming in again. We're going to go to some more Super Chats here in a little bit, but I believe we're going to get a cut. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. What about this, y'all? Is it time to bring back Jack Del Rio? I want you to type H for hire or P for pass. Let me know down in the comments. As long as we have the audience and as long as Super Chats keep coming in, I am going to stay live. And I don't know how late I'm going to be here. Hopefully somebody can go get, I don't know, Jack a Red Bull or something. But, I mean, we got one of the hardest working teams in the biz right now. So would you hire Jack Del Rio? I want you to type H for hire or P for pass. Please let me know down in the comments section right now. I'm very, very curious about what you guys have to say. And it really would surprise me if, I'm seeing quite a bit of H's. I'm also seeing quite a bit of pass, which pretty interesting here from top to bottom. So P for pass, H for hire. Would you bring back Jack Del Rio? So what's going to be happening here, y'all? I'm going to go through all the news that literally just happened here on the Raiders Report. I'm going to show you some emails. I'm going to show you some quotes. We're going to break it all down, and then I will get back to some of these Super Chats. But for the next 10 minutes, we're going to be breaking it all down. So as soon as Jack gives me the thumbs up, we're going to get things rocking and rolling here. So coming up right now, all the latest news around the Raiders and Jon Gruden. Raider Nation, what's going on? You guys are watching the Raiders Report. Got some breaking news here. Jon Gruden is no longer the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. It was reported that he has decided to resign, and he is no longer going to be the head of the Silver and Black. So this is all kind of going back to Friday, where some emails of Jon Gruden were found, and the resigning amid the controversy of racist, homophobic, and misogynist emails. Gruden's decision came on Monday evening. This was one of those things where I didn't know exactly if it was going to happen, but this just is going to put even more drama on the 2021 season. The bigger black eye here is this. Gruden literally was like, hey, man, there was only one email. I didn't know what I said. He tried to say that his lips comment were more about him referring to somebody being a liar. That simply wasn't true either. From top to bottom, this was a very, very bad look for Gruden. So it does not surprise me whatsoever that he was let go. So give me your one-word reaction here to Gruden stepping down as head coach. I'm going to go ahead and say disappointing. I'm going to go ahead and say hypocritical because Jon Gruden, since he has taken over as a head coach of this team, the one thing that he's pledged is being not only good football players, but being good men. And after seeing all those emails from 2010, 2014, 2018, I just don't really know what to think of Jon Gruden at this point. But please let me know your one-word reaction to Jon Gruden stepping down. Now, here's a quote from the New York Times. And again, guys, this is not my words. This is me just reading the exact quote. So please do not get upset with the language I'm about to use. I'm just warning you right now. In the emails, according to the New York Times, Gruden called the league's commissioner, Roger Goodell, a faggot and a clueless anti-football pussy, and said that Goodell should not have pressured Jeff Fisher, then the coach of the Rams, to draft queers, a reference to Michael Sam, a gay player chosen by the team in 2014. The issue with that is this. Not only was Michael Sam a very good football player, not only was he the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, but how are you, Jon Gruden, then going to be able to look at a player on your own team, Carl Nassib, who had the courage to be able to come out and say, you know what, I'm playing in the NFL right now, and I am an openly gay player. The entire locker room went around Nassib, and they bonded, and they said, you know what, we're going to support one of our guys. So how can you as a head coach then go to that team, go to that player, and say, I have your back? The simple as this. You wouldn't be able to do that. Another reason why it was time for Jon Gruden to get the heck out of there. Here's some more quotes from the New York Times here. And numerous emails during a 7-year period ending in early 2018, Gruden criticized Goodell and the league for trying to reduce concussions and said that Eric Reed, a player who had demonstrated during playing of the national anthem, should be fired. In several instances, Gruden used homophobic slur to refer to Goodell in offensive language to describe some NFL owners, coaches, and journalists who cover the league. So are you guys glad that Jon Gruden is out? Y for yes, or you can go ahead and type your N for no. Also, as I am filming this, I know I said it earlier during my live show, but it is now official. the Raiders' assistant coach, Rich Bisaccia, is expected to replace him. So I just wanted to be able to throw that in there. Y for yes, or go ahead and type your N for no. I am simply going to say yes. And with all those other emails that came out, I am more than happy that Jon Gruden is out. Now, if you always want to be able to stay up to date on everything going on around the Raiders, make sure you guys hit that big red button that says subscribe. And I know I can be annoying telling you guys, hey, hit that sub button. Turn on those notifications. But a video like this is 100% the exact reason why you go ahead and that you go ahead and do it. That way, you don't miss anything. So please, and I mean please, subscribe to the Raiders Report. You will not find another channel that will work as hard as what we do to be able to keep you guys up to date on everything you're going on for. And honestly, I'm glad that they did this because Al Davis would have never stood for this. There was a 0% chance. So as soon as all this news came out, Mark Davis about 2 hours ago went into the Raiders facility, found Jon Gruden. They had a conversation, and after that conversation, they said, hey, it's time for you to go ahead and step down. The other reason why this is kind of interesting is because the fact that Gruden decided to step down, that means he forfeits his contract. So the 6 years, $60 million remaining, he doesn't get that anymore. The Raiders end up saving that money. Now, here's the tweet that came out at 8:10 p.m. On October 11th, so literally just a few minutes ago. Special teams coach Rich Bisaccia will take over for Jon Gruden. This is Mike Trice, a former NFL head coach. Also, Adam Schefter of ESPN has also double confirmed this. So here's going to be your new interim head coach for the Raiders for the remainder of the 2021 season. If I was Las Vegas and I would look ahead to the future, the top 2-3 names I'm calling Eric Bieniemy, I'm calling Brian Daboll, Joe Brady will be a name, and even honestly probably Jack Del Rio. So that's going to be the latest. But how about this, y'all? Who do you want to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? Obviously, you can go a few different ways here, and I obviously understand that. You're also going to have some old ties with some other people as well. But let me know, who do you want to be the next Raiders head coach? Please let me know down in the comments. The next head coach that I want, option number one, Eric Bieniemy. What he's been able to do with Patrick Mahomes, with that Chiefs offense, plus knowing the AFC West, I believe is very important. 1B, Brian Daboll. I understand that what the Buffalo Bills have been able to do there in that organization is impressive. But what Brian Daboll's been able to do with a quarterback like Josh Allen, who he's got all the tools, but it took a lot of fine-tuning to make those tools a lot better. Those are the very two people that I would call first to be the next head coach of the Raiders. So the fact that Jon Gruden is no longer here, there's going to be a lot of stories to be able to cover. There's going to be a lot of stuff that ends up going down. But also, I mean, you got to look at some of the other things that Jon Gruden has said. I mean, what about the emails in 2018? Because I see some people in the live comments are like, man, this stuff happened a long time ago. It happened back in 2010. Jon Gruden literally a few days ago looked at you all, and me included, and say it was one email, and he doesn't know anything else about it. He lied to your face. So how are you going to sit here and defend a man who not only said homophobic things, not only who literally was just ripping on everyone included, he was also saying misogynistic things to women. He was sending pictures of women over email. I mean, how disgusting and creepy is this? It's really freaking creepy. The bottom line is that. Now, again, y'all, we got over 4,500 people watching right now, and I know a lot of y'all are diehard Raider fans, and I am too. And if you want daily free videos around the silver and black, if you want a live show tomorrow, I'm going to be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, and I can't wait to see all the energy that you guys are going to be bringing to that show. Do me a big favor. Hit the subscribe button. I don't want you guys to ever miss anything going on here at the Raiders Report. So the fact that Jon Gruden is now no longer the head coach, there's going to be a lot of stuff literally to be sitting here to be talking about. There's still a lot of season left to play. You're sitting here at 3-2. I sat here today on the Raiders Report and said, Jon Gruden's got to give up play calling duties. He absolutely needs to be on the hot seat. But from the emails, from the poor play calling, from everything that goes on to it, I might sit here and say, maybe this is one of the better things that happened to this team, to this organization. It's going to be an eye-opener. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of different opinions, and I won't be able to get to everybody's opinion. So if you want to hit me up on Instagram, I am at MitchellRenz365, and I encourage everyone to do so. My Twitter DMs are closed. My Instagram DMs are open. Let me know what you guys have to say about Jon Gruden being fired. I want to know, and I'm going to be going in those DMs literally all night, all morning. I can guarantee you that. So please hit me up on IG at MitchellRenz365. The next thing I'm going to ask you all is this. Do we keep the Chucky heads? One of the things that I'm known for is when I give out rumors, we say 4 Chucky heads, believe it, maybe 3 Chucky heads, but obviously it had to do with Jon Gruden. I think I got to dump it. So if you guys are going to go ahead and you're going to type D for dump, time to get rid of them, give me some suggestions. Let me know what you guys are thinking about what should it be. I've already seen Mitch heads, which I don't know if that's what anybody wants to see. I think maybe Raider Shields is probably going to be a potential good idea. I've even thought of Al Torches. Those are probably the next closest things that I personally would want. But please, let me know. D for dump, K for keep. We're talking about this because Jon Gruden is no longer the head coach of the Raiders, and we're deciding to resign late Monday night after controversy. Racist, homophobic, and misogynistic emails were released by the New York Times, and literally all the stuff started happening on Friday. It started piling up, and I'm being told that Jon Gruden has just released a statement that said, "I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you all to the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone." Those are the exact words from Jon Gruden. We're going to be able to get it for you guys up on screen here in just a second. But Jon Gruden, former head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, has officially released his statement. Rich Bisaccia is going to take over as the interim head coach for the Silver and Black. But, I mean, man, a lot of stuff to be able to unravel here. So here's the exact statement again. I'm going to read it aloud. This is from Jon Gruden. And actually, before we get to it, how about this? Again, a one-word reaction to Jon Gruden stepping down, saving basically the Raiders now $60 million. So the fact that he decided to step down, he's going to go ahead and he's not going to be able to get any of his guaranteed money. When the Raiders signed him to that 10-year, $100 million, I mean, I was like, man, that's a lot of money to give a coach. And now the fact that this happened, it's simply not going to happen. So continue to give me those one-word reactions. I'll give some shout-outs here. I see some buys. I see Mitch for president. I see Racist in there as well, all definitely deserving for Jon Gruden. My one word is a hypocrite, a big-time hypocrite. So here's the exact statement from Jon Gruden. It literally just came out a few seconds ago. "I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone." I know he probably never meant to hurt anyone. I met Jon Gruden a few years ago at Lafayette. His son used to play with my cousin Andrew with the Lafayette Tigers or whatever, the Leopards, excuse me. And I met Jon. He seemed like a really cool guy, and I don't really know if he ever meant to hurt anyone. However, there are repercussions for things that you have to say, especially when you deal with, you literally cover all basics of homophobic, racist, and misogynistic, just degrading gays, degrading women, degrading all races. And it's very sad because that's not what the Shield's about. It's not what Al Davis would have stood for, and I'm glad that the Raiders decided to make this decision here. Now, we are going to be wrapping up this video, but don't worry. If you are watching us live, I will continue to stay live. So go ahead one more time. Hit the big red button that says subscribe, and this is maybe the first time you've ever come across this channel. There's a reason why we're close to 100,000 subs, because we do stuff like this all the time. So if you're a diehard fan, if you could take that link that y'all see below and spread that to the nation, because right now it has never been more important for us as a fan base to unite together and really come together as one, because this is the kind of stuff that it sucks to talk about, and it sucks that it's happened to you. But at the end of the day, if you bleed silver and black, you're a part of my family, and you don't have to be blood to be family. Always remember that. I appreciate everyone who's watching, so if you could, please send that link to some diehard Raider fans. I would definitely appreciate it. All right, guys, we're about to go back into some more Super Chats here, and as long as Super Chats keep coming in, and as long as we got the audience, I am going to stay live covering probably the biggest story here on the Raiders Report. Also, Jack has told me this. I know we've had a lot of Super Chats come in. The only way you're getting up on screen, because we've never had this many Supers coming in a short amount of time, the only way you're going to have your question up on screen is a $10 Super Chat. I'm sorry, I know it's not possible for anyone, but we have to be able to start making some decisions here. What do you think of Jim Harbaugh? Jim Harbaugh, man. I'm going to say no. If you don't want an offense that's kind of stuck in the olden days. Also, my boss, James, is a big Michigan fan. He's about to come on and speak right now. What do you think about Jimmy Harbaugh?
Stay away from Harbaugh, you Raiders fans, okay? We're 6-0, okay? 6-0.
So there you heard it. To be honest, though, I wouldn't want Jim Harbaugh. I'm being 100% on. He reminds me, honestly, a lot of Jon Gruden. Let's go to the next one coming in from Tyler Turner. Lincoln Riley. I would take Lincoln Riley in a heartbeat. However, Riley's not going to leave Oklahoma for the simple fact of this. He's got ultimate job security. Oklahoma's about to go into the SEC, and he's probably going to make more money than whoever gets hired next as the Raiders head coach. Let's go to Cody Edwards. We still have a good team and coaching staff. Why take a chance on a rebuild again? Can our Raiders get through this typical Raiders drama? Always something with our team. Carr deserves to be known as one of the, and I can't read the rest, toughest QBs. I do think that Carr deserves more credit for being tough. However, he definitely has some happy feet of late. But you're right, more drama here, and I'm hoping that we don't go to a rebuild because this defense has been a legit defense. You have all the pieces around you. You realistically just need an offensive line. Let's go to JR614. Forget Chucky heads. Let's go with Mitch heads. What do y'all think? You're a dope at what you do. You're a dope at what you do, man. That's funny as hell. I think you meant to say you're dope at what you do. But, hey, if you think I'm a dope as well, it's all good. I don't want it to be about me. I don't want the Raiders report to be about me. I want the Raiders report to be about the nation. So I'm probably either going to do Al Torches or Shields. Those are probably going to be your two options. Let's go to Anthony Fuel. You're next up here. Mitch, if we don't make the playoffs and Gruden leaves, Gruden's gone. So he's gone. Do we consider bringing back Jack Del Rio? Great chemistry with DC. So I think maybe you bring back Del Rio if you want to go ahead and keep Derek Carr. But if you bring in a brand new head coach, I think the option is this. You go ahead and you bring in a new quarterback because a lot of times they want to get a guy that's theirs. So what do y'all think about this? Because the amount of times y'all have brought it up, I'm going to go ahead and ask, do you bring back Jack Del Rio type H for hire or type P for pass? Please go ahead and let me know. I'm going to start going ahead and give some shout-outs here. Eric Kague says Nick Saban. There is a 0% chance that Nick Saban's ever going to leave Alabama and come to the Raiders. You'd have to offer Saban $20 million a year for 20 years guaranteed for him to even think about leaving the Crimson Tide. Let's go to Alfredo. What up, my man? Jim Harbaugh. No, I don't want Jim Harbaugh. I want nothing to do with Jim Harbaugh. He is just as a boomer as Jon Gruden. Let's go to Lord Abyss. Disappointed in the turn of events. Chucky was a big part of Raider Nation. His face plastered on the walls of Allegiant Stadium. Felt bad for the players the most. You're right. If nobody has taken that tour yet, there are so many things of Jon Gruden plastered all over that stadium. And probably the coolest thing of that stadium tour, which I guarantee it's not going to be there anymore, was all the lights in the locker room. They shut off, and then a 3D, a real dimensional figure of Jon Gruden comes up and gets you hyped up to run out of the tunnel. It's honestly probably one of the coolest things about the tour. All those things are gone. And yeah, it does suck because you can say what you want about Gruden. You wanted him to succeed because if he succeeded, that meant this franchise was succeeding. Let's go to Raider Brown. Do Jolly Rogers flags instead of Chucky heads. Jolly Rogers flags. I don't think I'm going to do Jolly Rogers flags, but I appreciate the input. Let's go to Philip Carrillo. Why Del Rio? What was his record? 60-70. Laugh out loud. Remember when everyone couldn't wait to get him back. F cancel culture. I agree with F cancel culture, but it's also a systemic problem of Gruden lying to everyone. I mean, that's a bigger issue as well. He had emails in 2018, 2014, and 2010. And also it sounds like I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to look at my DMs, but I had somebody DM me that the Raiders players, once they found this out, were on board to get rid of Gruden. If you've lost your locker room, it is time to move on. Let's go to Adam Wallen. Haha. What about flat tops for Howie Long? Haha. Flat tops might be a thing. My dad would personally love that. I believe Howie Long's his all-time favorite, him and Jim Otto. But, hey, I'm going to be taking all suggestions because Chucky heads, they're going. Let's go to, it's time for the Gus Bus to really take off. So Gus Bus is going to have to step up this defense, you're right. But the new interim head coach is not Gus Bradley. It's Rich Bisaccia. Let's go to the next Super Chat coming in here from, looks like Manny V. The amount of times DC has been through these coaching situations, shake my head, poor fella. You're right. I don't know if there's been another guy who has dealt with, since 2014, he's had, this is going on now, 5 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinator changes. And people wonder why sometimes he's losing games. It's not all on DC. go to Ray to Real W. The Raiders have been cursed ever since they fired Hugh Jackson after he guaranteed the team would make the playoffs the next season. Every 8-win or better coach after that has been fired. I don't know if I'm going to blame it on Hugh Jackson. I'd probably blame more of a curse on the Tuck rule than I would Hugh Jackson. However, I understand where you're coming from. I'll talk to Hugh. I've actually talked to Hugh recently. One of my buddies is good friends with him, but man, I don't know. This is kind of crazy. Let's go to Jess. What up, man? Al Davis heads instead of Chucky heads or Chuckle heads. Maybe we shouldn't even say Chucky heads anymore. I mean, oh my gosh. Al Davis, I obviously would like to do it. It would be kind of interesting, though. I think the torch would be pretty cool. It also might be an easier graphic to make. But please, let me know what you guys think. So what do you think, y'all? Who do you want to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? The interim head coach, Rich Bisaccia. But obviously, we're going to have a lot of discussion to be able to do the entire year and a lot of stuff to be able to talk about in the offseason because this team will go with somebody. Unless Rich Bisaccia leads this team to a 15-2 record, there's going to be a brand new head coach in the silver and black. Let's go to Toxic Yeti. Hire Tony Dungy and change the Chucky heads to Gus Buses. I don't know if I want to change it to Gus Buses. I think you're going to go with somebody who's been – I think you want to go ahead and go with something that's ultimately a little bit more – that's never going to fade away. Like, Al Torches, nothing's ever going to happen to that. Raider Shields, nothing's ever going to happen to that. What happens if Gus Bradley has got bad emails? I don't know. Butter emails. Let's go to The Real Relic. Bro, I hate to see this happening, but Gruden just got exposed, not hated on. As far as what you use next instead of Chucky heads, use shields or patches. I actually like the patches idea because I know patches is a big part of Raider Nation. But The Real, I appreciate it. Let's go to X-Wing. Y'all crazy if you want Jack. Leaving Carr in that game for him to get injured and ruining our chances in the playoffs. One more thing, do the Al Davis torch. I kind of like that. All right, hang on a sec. So I know there's been a lot of Super Chats, but I said we're only putting $10, one up on screen. So shout out to Cole Cook, Adam Medea, Jack Bishop, and the rest of people Super Chatting. Shout out to Keep It Pushing. Let's go to Christian rapper Big Al. Is Carr going to move out of the neighborhood now? Might not want to be neighbors. Again, Derek wants to be a Raider. He said that he wants to be a Raider for life. However, I see a new head coach coming in and finding a new quarterback. Though, having Derek Carr at $19 million play the way that he can is pretty intriguing to me. Let's go to Junior614. Haha, oops, I meant you're dope at what you do. I know, it's all love. At the end of the day, if we can't pick at each other a little bit, then I don't even want to do this show because if you've never gone to a Rents family reunion, if you've never sat here at Chat Sports for longer an hour, if you're not getting picked on a little bit, it's kind of a bad thing. Heck, Jack's nickname is Sherwood Lovehead because Jack Sherwood Lovehead. Let's go to L Hub. What up, my man? FJB. I'm glad we got rid of him. Let's hope the new interim coach will trade picks for offensive linemen. Mitch, you're the best Raiders Report guy on YouTube. I think I'm the only Raiders Report guy. And no one is better at keeping us up to date on the news. Well, maybe somebody tell the actual Raiders there because I would love to be able to replace Eddie Pascal. But I would only do it if I can continue to still do the Raiders Report show just for the Raiders. I think that'd be pretty dope. Let's go to Isaiah Venegas. Hey, Mitch, what are your thoughts on the performance of the team going forward, and what about Gorilla Rilla heads? Thanks, Mitch. See, I feel like if I did Gorilla Rilla heads, I might have to pay Gorilla Rilla, though I have met him a few times. He's an unbelievable dude, really cool guy, part of the Black Hole, but I don't know if I'm going to go with Gorilla Rilla heads. I mean, if anything, I feel like I would go with Violator heads. No disrespect to Gorilla Rilla. I just think Violator is a bigger super fan. But going forward performance, you just got to take it one game at a time. You got to be ready to go. It's obviously going to be a black eye, but I think at the end of the day, hopefully he's going to be able to rally your team a little bit. So if you guys haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe for more free Raiders videos. We are in the sub-only chat, which means only people who are commenting right now are subscribed. If you're sitting there wondering, what the heck? Why won't my message go through? Why can't Mitch see my comment? Why can't I scream F Jon Gruden? It's because you're not subscribed. So how about this? I want every person watching this show right now to click that sub button and start typing F Gruden because we did FAB, we did F Brady, we did F Trent Brown. Why would you not type F Gruden? Because this is an absolute joke that he's putting not only Raider Nation through this, not only his players through this. So if type in F Gruden won't do it, I don't know what I got to do. I want to see a lot of F Grudens in the chat. Let's go to El Guero Pinche, which I believe this is some sort of, my girlfriend, every time I say this, she's like, dude, you pronounce that so wrong. Replace Chucky heads with Death Stars. Okay, see, I like that idea. So far, Al Torches, Shields, Death Stars are probably my 3 favorite ideas thus far. All right, let's go to the next one from Gregory. What up, Greg? I see people giving up on the Raiders. I honestly think Bradley and Olsen will keep them together. Also, what about using Al Davis torches? I think that Olsen, I have more confidence in Gus Bradley than I do Greg Olsen, but I still think this is a very close group. So hopefully that, yes, they can stick together. Let's go to Michael Clark. Al Davis heads, a great tribute. I think Al Davis torches, Al Davis heads is probably going to be the direction I go. Though, I also could see Al saying, hey, give more love to the Shield than to me, because he's always been more about the team, and he's always been more about winning and giving more love to the Raiders and Raider Nation than himself. Call me crazy, though, but I do like the idea. Let's go to Rosenia Norteña. I would love to bring the OC from the Chiefs in, so you mean Eric Bieniemy. He has a super creative offense and would know how to utilize our young talent. On another note, use Pirate heads instead of Chucky heads. Great show, Mitch. Appreciate you, man. I know you're always watching, always sending in supers, and ultimately really just supporting the show. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all I can ever ask for from this fan base. Now, I know we got a lot of stuff coming in. If you guys could please help me out, go ahead and smash that like button. We're at 1,500 likes. We got 3,700 people watching. Usually, I like to have a little bit better of a time. I drink. I take shots of Fireball. I'm not going to do that because I don't really want to celebrate everything that's happening here, because I don't like the fact that we're dealing with this, and I don't like the fact that people were, I guess, ripped apart in an email. So, all right, let's go to Kodiak Sawyer. I almost said Saucer. Marshawn Lynch for head coach. Well, we'd probably definitely get Skittle as a sponsor, but I'm going to go ahead and say no. Beast Mode is not going to be the next head coach of the Raiders. Let's go to Klissman Michael. Obviously, guys, also, if I answer your question, if you could do me a big favor, take a screenshot of it and post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram, tag me at MitchellRent365. I would appreciate that, because that's how this show grows as well. Bring Jack Del Rio back, and Musgrave, he got the very best out of DC, then rebuild the O-line next year. Can we use that money that Gruden isn't getting anymore? No, that's not how cap works. If not Jack Del Rio, who's your top head coach candidates? Eric Bieniemy, Brian Daboll, and it's by far those 2 guys. They were my top 2 candidates last season for just about every NFL team. And I get it that people want to build around Carr. If you bring in a new head coach, I would be shocked if Derek Carr is the quarterback of the Raiders next season. Let's go to Todd. Todd. Appreciate the $10 super chat, Todd. Let's go to Tony. Tony Knutson. That's your real last name, Knutson. That's ballsy. Torch it up instead of Chucky heads. Al Davis never let us down and will still live by his words. I like Al Davis torches. I like the Shield, and I've said that 100 times now. But, hey, you said it in a super chat. Give me your 2 cents. I'd like to know. Gary, I appreciate the super chat, man. Much love to you. Let's go to Pokemani23. How about fireball shots instead of Chucky heads? I mean, we've done plenty of fireball shots on this show. But, honestly, I would rather do, like, Woodson whiskey shots. So maybe I'll hit up Charles, and I'll be like, hey, Charles, you want to have an opportunity here to sponsor the show? We'll do Woodson whiskey shots. I'd be a little bit more on board for that. So what do you think about this, y'all? Are you glad that Gruden is out? Why for yes and for no? I know this is a random live show, pretty late at night for some of y'all. For everyone on the West Coast, probably just getting home from work. I mean, as soon as I got home from work, I literally popped some food in the microwave, got a message from the guys here at the studio, said, hey, have you seen this Gruden story? My boss, James, goes, he's going to end up getting fired. Come on in here. We're in the studio. We film a video. And right before I hit push out the video, Jon Gruden stepping down as head coach. So, absolutely crazy. I mean, Jack was already leaving down the elevator. It was an absolutely crazy, crazy thing. Why for yes and for no? Let me know what you have to say. Well, let's go to Cool Cook. Brian Daboll time, baby. Reset button pressed again. It is going to be a brand new reset button, but Brian Daboll, I would have a lot of confidence in being able to do the right things with this organization. Let's go to Thad Harder. Truth torches, make it so. Truth torches, Al Davis torches. Maybe we should make it emails. I'm kidding. Let's go to Todd. You're next up. Lewis Riddick, GM. Eric Bieniemy, head coach. Screw hiring retired head coaches. Raider Nation in Alabama. I'm kind of with you on the idea also of why are we going to bring in old head coaches that either were fired before or have been out of the league for a long time. I'm actually on board with bringing in college coaches because I really like what college coaches can bring to the table. They can be very creative, and that's kind of what you see out of Bieniemy. I know he's not a college coach now, but he's taking a player. Patrick Mahomes got all the talent in the world, and they're building around him. Also, the exact same thing with Brian Daboll, Eric Bieniemy, both those guys. Joe Brady as well. I would probably be my top 3 guys I'd give up a call. Let's go to Clifton Bethel. Death Stars instead of Chucky heads. So Death Stars, torches, shields. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate it, though, Clifton. Let's go to Gray195926. Great one. Sorry, I wasn't a fan of Skater Boy, that song, or the artist, whoever the hell he was. Hey, Mitch, how about using Mark Davis' haircut for Chucky heads? Laugh out loud. I ain't doing that. If I'm going to do haircuts, I might as well do Mini Coopers as well. But I appreciate the humor, which is definitely good on a show like this. Let's go to Keep It Pushing. Raiders Skulls, it adds up to the autumn wind. See, I like Skulls because I like the idea of keeping Raider Nation kind of creepy. Like, that was also one of the reasons why I like Chucky Heads, because there was no fan base like the Nation. The costumes, everyone getting up, people are afraid of the silver and black. So I do like this one, and I appreciate the creativity. Let's go to C. Moreno 195. Mitch, with Gruden gone, what does this mean for our offense? I know the defense will be the same, but what do we do different, and what do we do the same on offense? I still think you got to get the ball into your playmakers' hands, right? And it's your skill position guys, and it's Derek Carr. Jon Gruden has press conference said today that he still wants to run the offense through Josh Jacobs. I don't see that being the right option. I think you run through the air, put the ball in Derek Carr's hands, and realistically, I don't want to just leave it up to Olsen. I would honestly let Derek kind of decide what he wants to do with the offense because he's been here since 2014. He's been doing a lot of crazy stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and just say, man. Also, I do want to be able to announce this. So, again, since Jon Gruden is stepping down, his son, Deuce Gruden, who was the strength and conditioning and assistant coach, he is going to remain with the team. So it's pretty important. I met Deuce at a Halloween party, actually at a Christmas party at Lafayette. I thought he looked just like one of my catcher buddies on my baseball team. So we went down there, we met him. Deuce is going to stay, though, with the Raiders organization. So we went live for the Raiders. Jon Gruden, no longer the head coach of the Silver and Black. He decided to step down after more controversy over some racist, homophobic, and misogynistic emails came out, and he decided to step down, basically forfeiting the remainder of his $60 million left on his contract. So with that being said, the new interim head coach, according to Mike Tice, 86 on Twitter, former NFL head coach, special teams coach Rich Bisaccia will take over for Jon Gruden. We got the information. We gave it to you guys here. Obviously, though, Bisaccia is only going to be the head coach for this season in 2021. 2022, brand new year. So who do you want to be the next head coach of the Raiders in 2022? Please let me know down in the comments. I'm going to start giving some shout-outs here. I've heard Lincoln Riley, Brian Daboll, Eric Bieniemy. Please let me know. I'll give some shout-outs here. I do want to get a sip of my beer, though, because there's a lot of talking, a lot of rambling. And also, if you want your questions or comments featured, it's $10 Super Chats and up. I don't like doing it, but with the amount of supers that we got coming in, it's literally the only way that I can manage it, and it's the only way my team can manage it on the back end. Somebody said Rex Ryan. What are we talking about here? Sorry, Super Shaw. Rex Ryan is a terrible option. We got Kirby Smart. I don't even know if I'd want Kirby Smart. Paul Gunther from Mark Rodriguez. All right, we're done. Let's go to the next Super Chat from Jack Bishop. Jack, it's got to be, what, 5 a.m. where you're at right now? Mitch, how about a pair of Raiders dice in Vegas? Roll the dice for chances, and Carr would have to have had the most unlucky career ever, has success early, then got injured. I mean, between the offensive coordinators, head coaches, all that kind of stuff, I'm with you. The only reason why I don't want to do Vegas dice is because I get that that's where they play now, but the Raiders will always be Oakland. They'll always be Los Angeles, and they're always going to be, I mean, it's why I love my guy, Graphic Raider. He says from OAKLA to LV, this team spreads far and wide, and I don't want to just put them in one area, but I do appreciate your 2 cents in your 30.99 Aussie Super Chat. Let's go to Gary Russell. You're next up here on the Raiders Report. Do you believe that we are back to rebuilding? New coach, new offense to learn. It all takes time. By the way, I like the torches, the shields. I'm with you on torches and shields. I don't know if we're back to rebuilding because what are we exactly rebuilding? You have a lot of talented pieces. You're just losing your head coach. And I say just. It's obviously a big deal. But if you bring in a new head coach, sure, like they might try to tear it down a little bit. You might see some new pieces and players. But a lot of the players that the Raiders have are on one-year contracts. Also, I mean, I think guys like Cleveland Ferrell, they're going to be gone. Jonathan Abram, gone. Josh Jacobs, as much as I like Jacobs, his injury history, why are you going to go ahead and give him a fifth-year option? You're going to see a lot of new Raiders players. So, yes, it's probably going to be some sort of a rebuild, but you got to keep your core guys, which is like Max Crosby. I think you do everything you can to keep Unique Ngakoue around as well. Let's go to Iceberg 76S. Use Al Shields, Al Davis initials, so that Al on the shield, 2 birds, 1 stone, or Death Stars. I like the Al. Maybe we'll get Al torches on a shield. Now we're thinking. Let's go to Cooper Smith. What up, Coop? Defense is carried, hopefully slow starts left with John. I mean, the fact that the Raiders have yet to score a touchdown in the first quarter, the fact that the Raiders have yet to score a touchdown on their first 11 drives, okay? Also dating back to last season. Something had to change. This could be the chance to bench someone like Andre James, who Gruden has bias towards. 100% right. I mean, Andre James, according to PFF, has been the 35th worst center in the league. Not 32nd, not 33rd, 34th. The 35th worst center in football out of 35. So it's not good. And I'm with you. The other thing that Gruden did, like you can say what you want about the draft, the amount of extensions and guaranteed money that Gruden has given to players that have literally not done anything is shocking to me. So another good example. Let's go to Chris CC. Super chats keep coming in. We're going to stay live, y'all. Looks like Carr needs to baptize Gruden. Some would tell me it's going to get better from here. This is the first time we're 3-0 in forever, and now it's this crap. Yep. I mean, you're 3-0. I'm sitting here saying, hey, man, if the Raiders don't make the playoffs, time to get rid of Gruden. Now they already got rid of Gruden, and now you're 3-2. You got a tough game up against the Broncos in Denver. You can say what you want about that. Then you got the Eagles. The Eagles can be a tough matchup, too. We got a Week 8 bye, and then the Giants. I mean, you got to figure out a way to win 2 out of the next 3 ball games, because then you got the Chiefs Week 10. And I know they're struggling, but they're still the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go to Sons of Al, one of the most loyal and oldest watchers here. Please believe Mike Mayock, who used to make the mock draft, will not have chosen those draft picks if he was still an NFL draft analyst. We lose Mayock. We lose a lot. We deserve a chance without Gruden. You're right that you deserve a chance without Gruden. However, I've talked to people inside of the Raiders organization that said Mike Mayock is the guy who drafts in the first round, and then Gruden drafts a lot of the later guys. That could be concerning. Now, we'll see how true that is. We'll see with all that stuff going on, because I don't know how true it is simply because you brought in Mike Mayock to make those tough decisions early on, and a lot of those first-round picks do kind of seem like some Gruden picks. But I'm with you. Everyone deserves a fresh chance now without John. Let's go to El Guiro Pinche. Bo knows bobbleheads laugh out loud. And man, Bo's one of my favorite players. Maybe instead of bow heads, we'll do goat heads instead. Let's go to TD. Show me those TDs. Extend the offer to Pete Carroll. Why? We've got the familiarity on offense and defense side of the ball, and maybe Wilson would follow. Russell Wilson, I don't think would follow, and I don't think Pete Carroll would leave his situation that he's got right now at the Seattle Seahawks, but I appreciate it. I want to hire somebody under the age of 60. Let's go to Marcus Pratt. No to Del Rio. He lost the locker room, let Tice run Musgrave out of Oakland when we had the number 5 offense and promoted Todd Downing, and we fell apart. Well, I wouldn't really trust anybody with the last name of Downing first off, but Tom flicks me off in the back. No, I'm kind of with you. I'm not going to go back to the well with anybody that we already had. And I will never understand why the Raiders fan base loves old Raiders players or old Raiders coaches. I want something new. I want new systems, new coaches, and I want something brand new to be able to come on in there and create a little bit of excitement. When you bring in old guys, I'm sorry, it's not too exciting. Let's go to Misty Williamson. That's my girl. I want Bieniemy as our new head coach. I'm with you. He is past due for a chance, absolutely. And it would help weaken the Chiefs. As for the other question, I would vote for Shields, but Techno Bull Bo Jackson would be cool too. I do have a Techno Bull Bo Jackson shirt from Autumn Abyss, who actually also makes this shirt here. But I'm glad you get your 2 cents in, Misty. I know you watch all the time. Let's go to Jack Bishop. I don't care who the head coach is as long as they get rid of Andre James at center and a new right tackle. Keep Leatherwood at right guard, but please drop James. He is useless and just makes Carr look bad. We need to sign. I actually agree with the idea of got to move on from James simply because I thought it was kind of funny, and me included. I talked a lot about Leatherwood, but I feel like I was one of the only people out here who was like, Leatherwood's an issue, but the bigger issue has been Andre James in the center. If your center can't get it done, it really hurts all the other things going on around you. So, like, I'm kind of with you. You got to move on from Andre James. He's been a nightmare. Maybe give Jimmy Morrissey a shot. That's all I got to say. So what I'm seeing right now is we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, currently at 91,416. The deal that I've had on the table for a while is once I get to 100,000 subs, we're going to do a beer challenge. So I once did a show where with 84 beers in 6 minutes, I think I'm going to try to do 100 beers in 6 minutes. We're going to do it on a show, and then afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and try to answer some of y'all's questions and have just a little bit of a good time. But definitely something to keep in mind. So please hit that sub button. Let's go to Andrew. Try getting Peyton Manning to coach. I would love Peyton. And also, I mean, Peyton would have been kind of interesting because of his Tennessee ties. Gruden also had a lot of Tennessee ties, but Peyton's got a good thing going now. I don't see Peyton or any of the Mannings, for that matter, taking any head coaching jobs. But I would love Peyton, but I just don't see it. Let's go to Sean Robinson. You're next up here on the Raiders Report. We need a new young head coach. With that, Carr will be gone. Who do you think is the best young option for coach for us? Brian Dable, Eric Bieniemy. Another name to definitely keep in mind is Joe Brady. I've been sitting here saying it. Those would be my top 3 choices that I would go out if I'm trying to find a brand new head coach. Appreciate you watching the show, Sean. Let's go to Art. There's also the last $10 super chat. My high school coach is amazing. I'll have him send his resume to the Raiders. Raiders! Hey, if you want to send his resume, please go ahead and do so. However, I don't really see that being very, very likely. I'm probably going to go ahead and give that one 0 Al Torch Shields. Let's go to Chris CC. I don't even know who this new head coach is. Is he any good? He's been the special teams coordinator for the Raiders since 2018. He had some ties with the Dallas Cowboys. Him and, Rod Marinelli, they both kind of came over in 2018. Sure, also some connection there with Gruden. That's why he ended up bringing him in, but we'll see what he can ultimately do. I think the biggest reason why the Raiders didn't give Gus Bradley the promotion because they wanted him to stick with the defense, and they felt that Greg Olson can now take over the offense. You keep Gus Bradley with the defense, and now Rich Bisaccia is going to be able to come in and try to really just do everything with special teams and head coach. What up, Todd? Are the Raiders off the hook with that 10-year contract? Yes. So they do not have to pay the remainder of Gruden. The fact that he decided to step down, his remaining 6 years, $60 million voids, the Raiders are off the hook on Jon Gruden's contract. Let's go to James. FAB, FJG, FTB. We might have to make some Jon Gruden shirts, though. Jon Gruden did do a lot for this organization, even though I hate being able to admit that, especially after all this stuff came out and happened. But he also did a lot of stuff for the Raiders Sport. He did a lot of stuff for me as well. So, but yes, FAB. So what do you guys think? Who do you want as the new head coach? Let me know. I'm going to give some shout-outs here. I've had some Rex Ryans come in. I can't understand why that's coming. We got Ray Lewis as the next head coach from Jeremy Carr. Rob says FDR. We have F. Chucky. Marshawn Lynch for the next head coach from Manny Moore. Probably not. We got Lincoln Riley. Lane Kiffin. I don't want Lane Kiffin. Bill Callahan. Guys, we got to get younger here. Chris Smith says me. You don't want me as a head coach. If I was the next head coach of the Raiders, I wouldn't be able to do the Raiders Report. And what fun would that be? I like my job. Joe Brady, Peyton Manning, James Franklin from Dale Webb Jr. Kind of interesting. Charles Woodson. Not going to happen. We have Tim Tebow from Aiden. Jesus Christ himself from Julio. Tony Dungy from Ex-Tokic. Eric Bieniemy from Randall. The correct answers are Brian Dable, Eric Bieniemy, Joe Brady. Those are your top 3. Continue to let it go in here. Continue to let me know down in the comments. Got a few more Super Chats coming in here. This one's from Mark B. I'm not mad at Gruden. I'm mad at the NFL for leaking private emails found during an investigation that had nothing to do with us. Doesn't seem legal. I'm going to disagree, and you should be upset because Jon Gruden lied to your face. Jon Gruden lied to your face and simply said that, hey, it's only one email. It's only this. And that simply wasn't true. You can be upset with the NFL. I do think it was kind of interesting because I'm in agreement with you. All the Dan Snyder emails, they were already looked into. And if the NFL did its proper job, they would have already seen all these emails that Gruden sent. I really think that somebody was really trying to go out there and get Gruden fired. But at the end of the day, if you're a grown man, you're going to make choices. You're going to say certain things. I mean, this is the perfect example of that. Gruden's gone, though, but you can be mad at whoever you want. So is somebody out to get Gruden? Okay, I like this. Type C for conspiracy or type T for truth. Please, 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 please. Type C for conspiracy or T for truth. I love conspiracy theorists out there. I can't wait to see the votes that this one gets in. Also, we got 1,800 likes. Could we please get to 2,000 likes on this video? I would definitely appreciate it. Let's go to Manny V. We need to completely revamp the organization and start a new beginning. No more old coaches. I agree on no more old coaches. There's going to be plenty of people out there that want to be the next head coach of the Raiders. I mean, you got a brand new stadium and a brand new city, and you can say what you want. But, I mean, playing for the Raiders is one of the most, I would say, coveted positions in the NFL because of the fan base and because of everything that goes into it. So, I'm with you, though. No more old school coaches. Let's go to Alexander. I believe this is the last Super Chat. Hashtag Raiders. Mitch, if the interim gets us to the playoffs and actually somehow win a game, give them 1 year, if not Bieniemy or the Bills OC. Here's the issue with that, right? You're going to see far too often that even when stuff like that happens, it doesn't usually go that way for the interim head coach. Because at the end of the day, I think Brian Daboll's a better candidate. I think Eric Bieniemy's a better candidate. I think Joe Brady's a better candidate. There's going to be better candidates out there. And people are going to go ahead and say, well, it's not maybe so much his team. It was a team that Jon Gruden, the Raiders organization, was able to put together and he just took over for. So I don't see that being the case, and I do not seeing that happening. So just something to be able to go ahead and keep in mind. All right, start giving some shout-outs out to the people that had C for conspiracy or T for truth. Let's get it going here. I got Kyle Golden says conspiracy. Nito says D for I don't know what that means. Kenneth says we got to go ahead and keep Carr. Freddie Kitchens. Oh, man, we got a Freddie Kitchens in there. Byron Leftwich. Oh, here we go. I like some of those. You're not going to hire Jay Gruden. I guarantee that. Juan Hernandez says conspiracy. We also got a T from Gabe. Joseph J. Youngblood. Appreciate all those votes coming in here right now. Pretty interesting stuff. Again, y'all, the reason why we decided to go live is because Raiders head coach Jon Gruden is, well, no longer the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Interim head coach is now going to be Rich Bisaccia is going to go ahead and take over the duties, which was broken down by Mike Tice, 86, former NFL head coach. So we did get some more Super Chats coming in here, and I'm going to take away the $10 Super Chat rule. $5 Super Chats and up from here on out unless we get some more. This first one's coming in from Dorn Front Gaming. Conspiracy digging up the past was the only way to get rid of Gruden, his terrible play calling, and his $100 million contract. Like, I understand that people are upset, but I'm okay with this happening because if it was the only way to get rid of Gruden's $60 million contract, guys, I mean, it was a good thing. We had to face it. Gruden was not going to take us to the promised land, and I can finally be on record in saying that's okay to go out and say because he was still trying to find his identity 4 years in. He had so many chances, so many missed opportunities. It was the right thing to do. Let's go to Machines of God. I can't say I'm surprised by any of this. I used to work at a low firm, and my boss said to type every email knowing it could be in front of the New York Times. Words have never come back to be so true. It's kind of an interesting thing you're out there. I mean, how many people right now are going to start deleting their emails? Let's go to Christian Martinez. Do you think the team will stick together and show heart for Taser Nation? I think you mean Raider Nation. And say, let's keep our heads up, fellas. Also, I saw the $5 come in from Top Beats. We've also been told that we're going to continue to stick with the $10 supers because we put something in it. We put something in our software so we can only do $10 supers. Christian, do you think that the team will stick together? I do think the team's going to stick together. They're they're a hard-nosed team, and I think they're going to continue to work hard. So Don Front Gaming, I'm sorry, but I appreciate it. Let's go to Jonathan McFadden. Not likely, but Mike Kafka. Kind of an interesting name to throw out there. Mike Kafka was the quarterback coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, a name that I actually brought up as potential OC replacements last year. So I like that you watched that. Did you get it from my video? Let me know. Let's go to Chris CC. This is the last one for now. If you think about the new head coach just landed in a gold mine with a talented team, maybe he will do something with the offensive line. I couldn't agree more with you. Not only is it a gold mine, it's a gold mine from a organizational standpoint because you are now the new head coach of a team that's probably one of the fastest growing new fan bases out there. Anytime you enter a new city, you get a whole bunch of new fans. It's really as simple as that. So I'm with you. He stumbled upon a gold mine. So again, guys, Jon Gruden, gonzo. Who do you want to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? We are live here on the Raiders Report. I figured I'd be able to go ahead and break it down for you a little bit. Before we get to these two super chats, I do want to tell people that if you ever want to hit me up on Instagram, you can go ahead and do so. I am at Mitchell Renz 365, and I just checked my text messages. Guys, I'm not kidding you. I have 300 text messages, and the amount of stuff I have right now, holy cow, on Instagram is absolutely incredible. So if you want to shout out right now here on the Raiders Report, I want you to go ahead and I want you to give me a follow on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. I'm going to start giving some shout outs. I got DW4D4D, Andrew 20, Joey Wee _noob, Black Mosca, Dorn Front _916, Bona _Pisano, Dago Aguilar, Tlu 123, LA Raider for life. If you want a shout out here on the Raiders Report, go ahead and give me a follow on IG. I got a few more. Kevin802, Isaac D. Austin, Weird Face Goon, Raider Nation for life, Sergio Rod V, VS Amdol. Appreciate all the follows on Instagram. Let's go to Tyler. Peterman for head coach. It's that simple. Oh, man, I'm not drunk enough to even think that that's a good idea. Let's go to Jay Youngblood. Anyone for Bill Romanowski for head coach? I get it, he's a legend, but I want someone younger. I want a younger head coach to give some of these brand new ideas that can actually use some analytics. Let's go to Lucas. What up, Luke? How about Todd Bowles? I actually love the idea of Todd Bowles being a DC, and Todd Bowles, when he was head coach of the Jets, I think it obviously had a lot to do with the Jets being the Jets, but Todd Bowles, I think, is in the same boat as Gus Bradley. Some guys are meant to be coordinators. Some guys are meant to be DCs, and that's what Todd Bowles is. All right, let's go to this next one coming in here. I don't know what you're cheering about. Eric Bieniemy has to be the man. I'm 100% with you. And if anybody out there likes baseball, the Boston Red Sox just won, and I got Jack freaking out right now because he's a Red Sox fan. I don't know if you guys can tell. He's a diehard Sox fan. So, Red Sox, they're going to what? The ALCS? I guess that's big news. So, Eric Bieniemy has to be the man. I'm with you, Michael. I'm with you. So, that's all the $10 Super Chats that I see. Unless I get more, I am going to get out of here. I don't know what's going to be, what we're going to do. You want to put it on loop or we just stay live? I mean, we got 2,000 people watching. What do you guys want, man? All right, y'all. So if no more Super Chats come in, I'm going to give you one more minute. If no more $10 Supers come in, we're going to get out of here. We're going to enjoy the rest of our night. It was one of the craziest nights that I can ever remember covering the Raiders here at the Raiders Report. Please remember that I'm going to be live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, with a brand new Raiders Report show. We're going to be doing news, we're going to be doing rumors, and I'm going to be going ahead and doing Jon Gruden replacement. It is absolutely going to be the video that needs to happen. So, if you're out of here, I appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and like the video. But please, 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 go ahead and hit that big red button that says subscribe. I see somebody right now says, I love that shirt. AutumnAbyss.com. And we got one. Hey, if $10 Supers keep coming in, I am going to stay live. It's really as simple as that. Let's get to 100,000 subs. We got Cesar, Ruiz, Garcia. You think the Raiders open up the playbook for Carr. I will say that if I'm Rich Bisaccia, I have nothing to lose, and I try to get a little bit more ballsy. You start throwing the ball a little bit more, but the Raiders right now are on pace to have the worst offensive line since PFF started grading run blocking in 2006. Think about that. Pass the ball, stop running it. Let's go to David. How about Madden heads? Kind of interesting, but from the 70s with his long hair, the season isn't over yet. Let's get these dubs, make the playoffs. Let's go Brandon and Raiders. I don't see. Let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon. So instead of F Joe Biden, let's go Brandon. That's really funny. I didn't know that. Shout out to the Raiders. David, I like the John Madden heads. Let's go to Gary. What up, Gary? How about Darth Vader heads? By the way, F Chucky. Darth Vader heads is definitely going to be into the equation. It does pain me a little bit, though, that we are going to get rid of the Chucky heads because the Chucky heads have been a staple. Let's go to top beats. New head coaches, Brian Dable, Brian Leftwich. I'm wondering who exposed the emails. Grateful he's gone, but remember, he loved the Raiders. I know that Gruden loved the Raiders, and I know he was a big fan of with everyone. The issue is this. Even if you like the Raiders, the stuff you say, but then to not man up and then to find out that there's even more stuff, it's a bad, bad look. It goes against everything Al Davis really taught people, I think, to respect about the Raiders, that everyone is equal. Let's go to Manny V. At Raiders Legacy posted on Instagram that Joe Brady is the front runner. The only reason why Raiders Legacy posted that Joe Brady is the front runner is because a verified source on Twitter said that this is a name to keep in mind. However, that verified source is more of a puppet than anything. He just posts what other people say. I bet you he was watching the Raiders report, heard me say Joe Brady, and that's why he tweeted it out there. Let's go to Chef 2. Appreciate the $20 super chat, man. Much love to you. Greatly, greatly appreciate that, my man. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Let's go to Juan Gonzalez. Hey, Mitch. What do you think about Rich? Are we going to do good with him? And do you think he's going to make a move in the offensive line? I mean, the very first thing I would do if I was the Raiders' new head coach is make a move on the offensive line because continue to do the exact same thing over and over and over again. I say it all the time. Definition of insanity. Shout out to Albert Einstein. But yes, you got to mix it up. You got to do something a little bit different. It's really as simple as that. But do I think Bisaccia is going to be better? I don't know. He's never been a head coach before. I think it now goes to now you 100% know that Greg Olsen is going to be the guy playing the calls. So the fact that he's going to be doing it, not Gruden, I imagine that's going to be a good thing. Shout out to Jeremy Carr, Sean Spires for the Super Chats. Also, shout out to, I saw one coming from Todd. Let's go to the next one coming in from Noah Dodge. Do you still think we make it to the playoffs? If I'm being 100% honest with y'all, and I hate saying this, I'm going to say no because this team over the last 3 weeks has not given me a lot of confidence, and I'm hoping I am wrong, but I don't know if 10 wins gets you in. The AFC is really competitive. The AFC West looks legit. I think if you don't win 11 games, I just don't know how you're going to be able to get in, and with the 2 losses they just had, you need to come out, you need to beat Denver, you need to be able to figure out a way because your last stretch of games is not easy whatsoever. So if I was a betting man, I'd probably say no. Let's go to Chris CC. Carr is the only, just hit 2,000 likes, that's what's up. Carr is the only one that stays after all these years, poor guy. Also, before Gruden resigned, he said that Alex Leather was one of the best O-line out of the 5, have no choice but to sign a right tackle. I would sign a right tackle, but I would keep Leatherwood at guard. I thought Leatherwood played a pretty solid game at right guard, and he even played a few snaps at left guard. But yes, you need to be able to find a right tackle because it can't be Brandon Parker, and your right side of the line is just getting roasted. Now, again, y'all, I want to get to 100,000 subs. The Cowboys report, they beat me. They already got to 100,000 subs. I want to go ahead and make sure that I can go ahead and I can get there. So if you haven't yet, please go ahead, hit that big red button that says subscribe, and join us for tomorrow's live show. It's going to be a wild one. I can guarantee you that. It's going to be an absolutely, insane show. So if you haven't yet, hit that sub button. We're going to put the 60-second shot clock back on. So any $10 super chats, I know, Jack, I know. We're going to put the shot clock back on here. So the shot clock is on. If we don't get any more $10 supers, we just got one from Uncle Black. So we'll reset the clock then. What a crazy day. At least you're still here. I don't plan on going anywhere, man. I love what I do. I love the nation, and I love people like you because you're always supporting the show. I literally think every single time I've gone live for the last 2 years, you've sent in a $20 super, and I get it. We're a free show. Sure, people can send in super chats and do here and there, but at the end of the day, you guys are supporting me and letting me live my dream, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that you guys know how much I appreciate it, and we're going to give you guys the news. Let's go to Matt. What are you going to do to replace the Chucky heads? I think it's owl torches, a shield, Darth Vader. We're going to probably put a poll up on the channel. We'll be able to figure out something, but I'm going to let you guys vote on it. It's not going to be a me thing. It's going to be a you thing because that's ultimately how this channel works. I want people to be able to go ahead and get their 2 cents in. All right, y'all. Those no more super chats. Clock's back on here. If we keep it going, we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. But we've had over 2,000 people live right now, over 2,000 likes. We've had an incredible show. None of this was expected whatsoever. Obviously, the fact that Jon Gruden is now no longer the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders is a very mind-blowing experience. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your night. I want you guys to figure out what the hell is going to happen tomorrow, and another big-time reason to subscribe and turn on your notifications because you just never know. You never, ever know when some stuff is about to hit the fan and get crazy. If I missed your question, if I missed your comment, obviously we had a lot of people here on today's show. Please hit me up on Instagram. I am at MitchellRenz365. I am more than happy to take all your questions and all your DMs. I don't see any more supers. I'm going to get it the hell out of here. Enjoy your Monday. I'm going to go watch the remainder of Monday Night Football. Jon Gruden, no longer the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a new era for this team, a new era for Rich Bisaccia, and I'm excited to be able to take this journey with everyone watching right now. So I'm getting out of here. Enjoy the night. Make sure you subscribe to the Raiders Report.